let's talk about responsibility. When you're working in any capacity where you're looking to empower people, you want them to take responsibility for their lives, for the choices in life, for their actions. That is where you really start to see the improvement. Like when you're working in healthcare, you want your patients to take responsibility for their health. You want them to follow the treatment regime. You want them to come back if they need to. You want them to, um, let you know if anything doesn't feel so good. Because if they take that responsibility, they're going to get better. Their life is going to be healthier, happier. If you work in a supervisory position, like you're a supervisor for the nurses or for the technicians or whatever, or you're the doctor, you want people to take responsibility for their actions because that is how they grow. Because the more responsibility we take, the more power we have that comes together. But the thing is, you can't give responsibility. Responsibility can't be given. It can only be taken. So when you're in that position and you want to give it to someone, you can see they're ready. Like, come on, take up the slack. Like, take this on. You can do it. But if they don't pick it up, it's going to be a failure, right? They're not going to do a good job. They're going to feel overwhelmed. Your patients aren't going to do what you want them to do. Because they're not ready for it, for whatever reason. So then you have these thoughts of like, they should take that responsibility. I want them to. They need to take that responsibility. And just notice that, putting that on their plate when they're not ready for it. How does that make you feel? It's going to make you feel frustrated, powerless, overwhelmed because people don't take what you think. If you're the manager, you kind of feel like you have to take on extra stuff because they don't take it on. You're going to start being overworked. If it's your colleagues, the same thing. You're going to be frustrated if your patients don't do what you think they should do. But what if you turn those judgments around to, so thinking they should take responsibility, so they shouldn't? How would that help you view that situation better? To think that how would it be best for them to not take that responsibility? So if the patient doesn't understand what the medication is for or how it's safe, or they have an inner resistance to it, and so and your staff, like they're not feeling ready for it, they're not feeling confident, or they're feeling overwhelmed as well, can't take on one more thing. So then, as the supervisor, as the doctor, as the person giving advice, as the person working with these people, working to empower them, I have to be able to take on the responsibility of seeing where they're at. Being able to know how I can support them so that they can pick it up, take that responsibility for themselves. Like, it's not going to work if you're pushing. It's not going to work if you're telling. You can tell them, hey, you're ready. I know you're ready. they don't believe it, it's not going to work. So then what is your responsibility in that moment to make sure they feel empowered? It's going to be, it's going to be different in every situation. I can't give you an answer for it, because it's going to be many, for every person in front of you, it's going to be a different answer. But so your responsibility is to see it for what it is. They can't take it on. They won't take it on. So it comes back to you. It comes back to you. If you can see that clearly, if you can see clearly why other people don't live up to your expectations in those ways, you can be really supportive, and then you can live fulfilling your responsibility beautifully. And that is very satisfying. And also, it's much less frustrating to not expect things of other people that they can't deliver. And it takes seeing clearly what's happening. That's the kind of work I do at the Leaders Work, is looking at those work situations where it's frustrating to deal with other people, and helping you find what you need to see about yourself. What is your gift? What is your thing to learn, so that your power can grow and your stress can drop. So if you want to check out one of your situations, I have some 10-minute slots, 15-minute slots open that are free called, where I can help you just quickly reframe a situation at your work. So if you're interested in that, book it at the link below.